Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I am Nicole, and I live in India, and today I'm here with my very good and only friend, the Rose.
Hello.
She is my French connection, my bestie from the Westie, and she is here today to help me give a reaction to Trump to punish Indian and others who want to de-dollarization.
Okay.
This was on Vantage with Palki Sharma.
Okay.
Palki Sharma, I really like her.
Okay.
She's very good.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't already, please give me your like, please give me your subscribe, and let's go.
Our next story is also from the US. It's about their former president, Donald Trump. He's been quite busy lately with a slew of legal cases. Trump has been accused of everything, really, from election interference to paying hush money to an adult actor. But while he deals with all these legal problems, his advisors are already planning ahead. They're formulating policies for when Trump returns to the White House. That is their hope. And a new report tells us what they're working on. Trump's advisors want to punish some countries that want to de-dollarize. We've spoken to you about this before, about de-dollarization, but here's a brief overview. Today, the US dollar is the most important currency in the world. It's the world's reserve currency, the currency all countries hoard to protect national wealth. About 60% of the world has savings tied to the US dollar. These are called dollar-dominated assets. And what does this mean in practical terms? It means that the US has unreasonable control over the world's economy. We trade with the US dollar, we save using the US dollar, and we're all forced to track the US dollar to make sure we don't suffer because of American policies. It's a system where we depend on the US for our own financial stability. So what's the solution? De-dollarization, moving away from this excessive dependence on the US dollar. Some countries have been trying to do this or thinking about it, making small but defiant moves. Like India using the rupee to buy oil from the UAE, or Argentina using the Chinese yuan to pay off a loan. These were moves to reduce dependency on the US dollar and help currencies from the global south rise in value. This is de-dollarization in a nutshell. But obviously, the US does not like that. If de-dollarization begins in earnest, the US will start losing its clout, and Donald Trump is not a fan of that idea. He gave an interview recently. I'll quote from what he said. "I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country." It doesn't get clearer than that. Trump wants everyone to stay hooked to the US dollar, and now his advisors are working to make this possible. They're planning punishments and sanctions for anyone who does not toe this line. And India is in their crosshairs. Along with Brazil, Russia, China, and South Africa, the BRICS countries basically, they have caught Trump's eye. His advisors are planning to target BRICS for what was discussed last year during the last summit in South Africa. That was last August. The BRICS countries spoke about creating a new common currency, a currency to be used among BRICS member nations for trade and investments. This new BRICS currency was supposed to be a hedge, a protection against the US dollar. It sounds like a smart, pragmatic move, a way to defend national interest. It's an interesting idea, but it's nowhere near becoming a reality. There are some very obvious security issues like sharing a currency with China, so the BRICS currency is still a pipe dream. Despite this, it seems Trump and his team feel threatened, as though this BRICS currency is an attack on the supremacy of the US dollar. So it seems they're planning a counterstrike. And what would that look like? The options include export controls, currency manipulation charges, and tariffs. Let me explain. Export controls restrict free trade. They prevent a country from accessing some goods or technologies, like what the US does with China. It prevents Beijing from accessing advanced computer chips. That's an export control. Trump may expand export controls to countries that want de-dollarization. Then we have currency manipulation charges. They're a more subtle attack. A country can be branded a currency manipulator. It will
China.
affect your reputation, your
China.
currency may be shunned, and it could lose value. Then we come to tariffs, the simplest form of punishment. Trump may put tariffs on goods from a country, like an additional import tax. It makes an imported product more expensive rather, for American customers if there's more tariff. Meaning the demand will go down because the product has become more expensive and the country's trade suffers. Trump and his advisors want to impose these punishments on BRICS countries for daring to try and replace the dollar. It's pure mob behavior. Use our currency or else. India may be spared though. New Delhi and Washington are close allies after all. But this whole episode is distasteful. You cannot force anyone to depend on you. You have to let them make their own way. If not, you aren't an ally. You're just a big bully.
Ooh, a big bully. Say it isn't so.
Do we have to disagree or can we agree on the big bully?
US can be a big bully. I do think that the de-dollarization, it makes sense for India. It makes sense for most countries.
So I was extremely surprised. I have a friend who came to India for 6 months to study here.
Mhm.
And she was telling me that she found rupees in France. She just changed the rupees before coming. You couldn't find rupees before. You had to go through dollars.
Yeah.
And bring your dollars here and then change your dollars
Change your dollars
into
there.
rupees. She directly found rupees in France,
In
which
France.
is a big change. It
Big
was
change.
like, oh, wow, great.
Mhm.
Good news.
Yeah, I think I think in the 40s or even earlier, they tied the currency, the American dollar, to gold. And at that point, I think it made more sense, I think, for like a global tying to the US when it was tied to the actual, like we had the amount of gold. But they untied it, I think, in the 60s or 70s. So in the US, we can literally print as much money as we want. It's not tied to any gold the way that it used to be.
Okay.
So we are really in a perilous situation, I think, in the fact that we, as she said, there are 60% of, countries have 60% of their own economy tied up with America's. And I just think that is, it's a lot. And I don't think that these types of transactions need to happen in American dollars. I think that the euro is great. I think doing it in different currencies makes sense. And I don't. Yeah. So but will Trump implement these policies? 100% he will. He totally will, for certain, do this. So, do I agree with it? No, but this is what he will do if he comes back into office.
Can we say would?
Hmm?
Can we say would do?
Well, yeah, this is what he would do if he comes back into office. So, I don't know what to say. So let's see. So if you have something you'd like to see us react to or watch, please put it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you have a different opinion on what I said, I'd love to have a nice disagreement, a polite one, a polite disagreement. Most of the time. Okay, that's us. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Please give a like and please give a subscribe. As always, we love you and bye-bye.
Bye.